Mitchell Robinson is back. He played just 12 minutes, but he made every single one of them count. 6 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist while shooting 3 for 4 from the field. The Knicks were plus 11 when he was on the floor, the highest on the team. That's not just good, that's game-changing. The Grizzlies wanted absolutely nothing to do with him in the paint. The moment he stepped on the floor, everything changed. His presence alone made a difference. Even in limited minutes, the Knicks had a ridiculous plus 54.8 net rating when he was out there. That's not a small sample. That's pure dominance. Sure, he looked a little slow and tired at times, but that's expected after being out for 10 months. What matters is that he showed exactly why this team has missed him so much. The defense stepped up, the energy shifted, and everything just clicked. That's the Mitchell Robinson effect. He even grabbed the game-winning rebound. The Knicks needed a big play, and he sealed it. That one board alone was massive. It wasn't just about the numbers, though the numbers were great. It was about how everything around him looked different the second he checked in. Mitchell Robinson is back, and if this was just the beginning, the Knicks are about to get a whole lot scarier. People are forgetting how great Mitchell Robinson is. Mitchell Robinson's defense is flat out ridiculous. When he's healthy, he's one of the best rim protectors in the entire league. The numbers prove it, and if anyone tries to argue, they just haven't looked at the stats. Last year, when guarding post-ups, nobody, literally nobody, allowed fewer points per possession than him. Opponents scored just 0.4, 2 points per possession when he was the primary defender. The guy is a wall under the rim. If a player even thinks about backing him down, there's a good chance that possession is going nowhere. Now, rebounding, he's a monster. The dude grabbed 5.2 contested rebounds per game last season. Only 2 players had more, Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic. That's it, and those 2 guys are considered some of the most dominant big men in the game. Robinson is right there with them. That level of rebounding isn't just about size. It's about timing, positioning, and pure effort. He fights for every board like his life depends on it. Even in the playoffs, when the intensity is at an all-time high, Robinson made his presence felt in ways that don't always show up in basic box scores. He was tied for 4th in charges drawn per game, racking up 0.33 per contest. The only players ahead of him, Jalen Brunson, Jalen Williams, and LeBron James. That means he's not just protecting the rim, he's stepping in, taking contact, and sacrificing his body to stop opponents from getting easy buckets. That's the kind of effort that wins games. And efficiency? This guy is in a league of his own. Since 2020, Robinson has posted a true shooting percentage of 68. That ranks 5th in the entire league over that span. The only guys ahead of him, Daniel Gafford, Dwight Powell, Rudy Gobert, and Okung Wu. And all of those guys make their living off high percentage looks, just like Robinson. The difference? He does it while being one of the best defenders on the floor at all times. Right now, the Knicks are getting healthy at just the right time, and his return could be exactly what they need. They've been without OG for the last few weeks, and Robinson has missed the start of the season after having off-season foot surgery. But now, he's eyeing a return by March 1st, and that could completely change everything. Of course, this isn't the first time he's dealt with injuries. In December 2023, he had to sit 50 straight games after surgery to fix a stress fracture in his left ankle. That was brutal for the Knicks, because without him, their interior defense just wasn't the same. This season, though, Robinson is expected to share the floor with all-star Karl Anthony Towns. And that pairing, it's got serious potential. Towns has been incredible in his first year with the Knicks, but adding Robinson back into the mix, that's a game changer. They'd basically be trying to recreate what the Timberwolves have been doing with Towns and Rudy Gobert. And if that formula worked in Minnesota, there's no reason it can't work in New York. The best part, Robinson doesn't even need to take a ton of shots to be valuable. He averaged just 5.6 points per game last season, but his presence alone changes everything. When he's out there, opponents have to think twice before driving to the rim. And let's not forget about his rebounding numbers. He pulled down 8.5 boards per game in 31 appearances last season. That's a ton of extra possessions for his team. And it's not like these are easy rebounds either. He's battling down low, going up against some of the biggest and strongest players in the league, and still coming down with the ball. Then there's his ability to get steals. He averaged 1.2 steals per game last season. That's not normal for a center. That's quick hands, great anticipation, and just knowing exactly where to be at the right time. Most big men don't even come close to that number. Now imagine the Knicks with Robinson fully healthy. Their defense is already strong, but with him back, it could be suffocating. He's the kind of player who forces teams to completely change their game plan. Opponents don't just go into the paint when he's in the game. They think twice about it. The Knicks have been missing that. They've had to rely on other guys to hold down the paint, but nobody brings what Robinson does. He's an elite shot blocker, an elite rebounder, and an elite defender, and the numbers prove it. People can talk about offensive superstars all day long, but winning teams need guys like Robinson, guys who do the dirty work, who protect the rim, who make life miserable for opposing players. That's what he does every single time he steps on the floor. And the best part, he's still just getting started. If he stays healthy, there's no telling how much of an impact he could have on this team moving forward. The Knicks are already in the mix as a contender, but with him back, they could take things to a whole new level. And I think when you dig into the advanced stats, you can see how important Mitch will be. Let's start with defense. This team is already good on D, but with him back in the lineup, they're going to be downright suffocating. The numbers prove it. His presence alone makes them an absolute nightmare for opposing offenses. Right now, their defensive efficiency is sitting at 116.9, and that's without Robinson in the lineup. He's ranked better than 66% of players in mixed team defense, meaning he's not just shutting down individual matchups, he's disrupting entire team offenses. His ability to contest shots, force bad looks, and clean up mistakes is about to take the pressure off every single player on this roster. And nobody's going to feel that impact more than Karl Anthony Towns. Towns isn't known for his defense, and that's totally fine because Robinson is built for it. With Robinson taking on the toughest matchups in the paint, Towns is going to have way less responsibility on that end. He can focus on scoring, spacing the floor, and making opponents pay on offense, while Robinson locks things down defensively. Opposing teams won't be able to just target Towns in the post anymore because Robinson will be right there, waiting to clean up any mistakes. Then there's OG. This guy is already playing elite defense, ranked better than 80% of players in mixed team defense. He's averaging 3.4 D rebounds, blocking almost 1 shot per game, and racking up 1.4 steals. That's already an elite defender, but with Robinson back, he's going to be even more dangerous. Right now, OG has to play both aggressive and cautious at the same time because there's no elite rim protector behind him. Once Robinson returns, OG is going to be able to take more risks, jump more passing lanes, and fully commit to shutting down opponents on the perimeter. If teams try to go by him, they'll have to deal with Robinson in the paint. And speaking of perimeter defenders, Bridges is going to benefit big time from Robinson's return. Bridges is ranked better than 43% of players in mixed team defense, which is solid, but there's room for improvement. He's averaging 1 steal and half a block per game, but his defensive efficiency is sitting at 114.3. That number is about to drop in a big way. Why? Because Robinson is going to make Bridges' life so much easier. Without an elite rim protector, perimeter defenders have to overcompensate. They have to shade a little more inside, stay a little closer to drivers, and sometimes gamble less. But when Robinson is there, Bridges can stay home on shooters, force tougher passes, and trust that anything that gets inside is going to be contested. Then there's Josh Hart, who's already a defensive menace. This guy is a rebounding machine, 7.4 defensive rebounds per game. That's ridiculous for a wing. He's ranked better than 73% of players in mixed team defense, averaging 1.6 steals and almost half a block. But the most important part, his defensive efficiency is at 116.1, which means he's playing elite defense even without Robinson. So just imagine how much better he's going to be with Robinson back. Hart is at his best when he's flying around the court, making hustle plays and cleaning up rebounds. And Robinson's return is going to let him do that even more. Robinson is the missing piece to this defense, and the numbers prove it. His ability to contest shots is elite. He's already averaging 1.1 blocks per game, but that number could easily climb once he's back at full strength. But it's not just about blocking shots, it's about altering them. There are a ton of possessions where opponents don't even try to finish at the rim because Robinson is there. That kind of presence doesn't show up in the box score, but it's a game changer. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, Mitch, let's talk about steals. Because Robinson isn't just a shot blocker, he's a disruptor. He's averaging 1.2 steals per game, which is crazy for a center. That means he's not just waiting for guys to attack him, he's actively forcing turnovers. Now combine that with OG's 1.4 steals, Bridges 1, and Hart's 1.6. And this team is going to be a turnover machine. They're going to be in passing lanes, ripping the ball away and making life miserable for opposing offenses. And defensive rebounding, this team is already strong, but Robinson is going to take them to another level. He's grabbing 3.8 defensive boards per game, which might not seem like a crazy number, but that's because he's usually contesting shots instead of waiting for rebounds. His presence alone forces tough misses, and guys like Hart, OG, and Bridges are elite at cleaning up those misses. That's what makes this defense so dangerous. Every single player understands their role, and the versatility this team is going to have on defense is unreal. With Robinson back, they're going to be able to switch more press more, and completely disrupt offenses. They've got size, athleticism, and now they've got their defensive anchor again. That means fewer open looks, fewer second chance points, and way more frustration for opponents. Every single player in this rotation is about to benefit from Robinson's return. OG is going to be even more aggressive, Bridges is going to have less pressure, Hart is going to dominate the glass, and Towns is going to be free to focus on scoring. And Robinson, he's going to remind everybody why he's one of the best rim protectors in the game. And then we can look at where Robinson thrives the most. On the glass, Mitchell Robinson coming back is about to turn the Knicks into an absolute rebounding powerhouse. They're already one of the best teams on the glass, but with Robinson in the lineup, they're going to make life miserable for opposing teams every single night. The numbers prove it. His presence on the boards is unmatched, and when you combine that with the rebounding talent already on this roster, the Knicks are going to dominate second chance opportunities and completely shut down opponents' second chance points. Right now, Robinson is ranked better than 96% of all players in rebounds per game, pulling down 8.2 per contest, but that's just the surface of his impact. He's one of the most dominant offensive rebounders in the entire league, grabbing 4.5 per game, which ranks better than 99% of players. His offensive rebound percentage is a ridiculous 17.1. That means when he's on the floor, he's securing nearly 1 out of every 5 offensive rebounds available. That's not just elite, that's game-changing. And the best part, he's going to be playing next to Karl Anthony Towns, who's ranked better than 99% of the league in total rebounds per game. Towns is putting up 13.4 boards every night, with 10.3 of those coming on the defensive end. He's ranked better than 98% of players in defensive rebound percentage at 29.5, which means he's one of the best in the league at securing misses. But now, with Robinson crashing the offensive glass, defenses won't be able to send as many bodies to box out Towns. They're going to have to decide, do they stop Robinson from dominating the offensive boards, or do they let Towns clean up everything on the defensive end? Either way, they lose. And it's not just the bigs. Josh Hart is a rebounding machine, and he's only going to be better with Robinson back. Hart is ranked better than 88% of players in rebounds per game, pulling down 9.7 a night. That's absurd for a wing. He's grabbing 7.4 defensive rebounds per game and pulling in 2.2 on the offensive glass. His offensive rebound percentage sits at 6.15, ranking better than 73% of the league, while his defensive rebound percentage is a ridiculous 19.72. That means Hart is securing defensive boards at a rate most big men would be jealous of. But now, with Robinson's presence forcing more misses and more contested shots, Hart is going to have even more chances to crash the glass. And then there's Precious, who's been another relentless force on the boards. He's ranked better than 87% of players in rebounds per game, pulling in 6 per contest. He's grabbing 3.9 defensive rebounds and 2.2 on the offensive end, ranking better than 89% of the league in offensive rebound percentage at 9.86. That means he's securing nearly 10% of all available offensive rebounds when he's on the court. That's a huge boost for the Knicks, especially when paired with Robinson, who already leads the team in offensive rebounding efficiency. But here's what makes this team special: the way they complement each other on the glass. Robinson is the best offensive rebounder in the lineup, but Towns is the best defensive rebounder. Hart is an elite rebounding wing, and Precious is a high-energy big who can clean up missed shots on both ends. When you put all of them together, it's a rebounding nightmare for opponents. Right now, the Knicks are already tough to keep off the glass, but with Robinson back, they're going to be nearly impossible to stop. His offensive rebounding alone is enough to swing games. When he's in the paint, defenses have to send extra bodies to keep him off the boards, which means fewer defenders rotating out to contest shots. That means more open looks for shooters, more second chance points, and way more frustration for opponents. But let's not forget about the defensive impact. Robinson isn't just an offensive rebounding force, he's also shutting down second chance points for opposing teams. He's grabbing 3.8 defensive boards per game, ranking better than 77% of the league in defensive rebound percentage at 16.77. And that number is going to climb once he's fully back in rhythm. With Robinson anchoring the paint, Towns is going to have even more freedom to dominate the defensive glass. Right now, Towns is already securing 10.3 defensive boards per game, but that's while playing without a true rim protector next to him. Once Robinson is back, Towns won't have to worry about contesting every shot, which means he can focus more on positioning and securing misses. That's going to make his defensive rebound percentage, already at 29.5, even better. And with Towns and Robinson locking things down in the paint, Hart is going to have even more opportunities to grab boards in transition. Right now, Hart is securing 7.4 defensive rebounds per game. ranking better than 85% of players in defensive rebound percentage at 19.72. But with Robinson forcing tougher shots and more long rebounds, Hart's numbers are only going to go up. And then there's Precious, who's already ranked better than 79% of players in defensive rebound percentage at 17.96. He's cleaning up nearly 4 defensive boards per game while still having the ability to crash the offensive glass. His energy is going to be crucial when Robinson and Towns are resting, and his ability to secure boards is going to help keep the Knicks' rebounding dominance going for all 48 minutes. With Robinson back, the Knicks are going to be nearly impossible to out-rebound. When he's in the game, they're going to dominate second-chance points on offense, shut down second-chance opportunities on defense, and completely wear down teams with their relentless rebound. And the numbers prove it. Robinson is the best offensive rebounder on the roster. Towns is the best defensive rebounder. Hart is an elite rebounding wing. And Precious is one of the most well-rounded rebounders off the bench. That combination is going to make the Knicks the most physical team in the league when it comes to cleaning the glass. Opponents are going to have a serious problem keeping up with this team on the boards. When Robinson and Towns are on the floor together, teams aren't going to get any easy rebounds. If they miss a shot, there's a high chance Robinson, Towns, or Hart is grabbing it. And on the offensive end, good luck stopping Robinson from securing extra possessions. The Knicks aren't just a good rebounding team. They're about to be the best rebounding team in the league. And Robinson's return is going to take them to a whole new level. His ability to dominate the glass, clean up misses, and give the Knicks extra possessions is going to be the difference between winning and losing close games. The numbers don't lie. Robinson is an elite rebounder, and his return is about to change everything. This team is built to wear opponents down, and Robinson is the key to making that happen. And the thing is, Mitch isn't a high usage player. Mitchell Robinson coming back isn't just going to make the Knicks better. It's going to completely transform how they operate on offense. His impact on the team's scoring efficiency, ball movement, and shot selection is going to be massive. Even though he barely needs the ball in his hands, the numbers prove it. Robinson's low usage, high impact style is exactly what makes him so valuable. He's the perfect player to complement the team's high usage stars like Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, and his ability to keep possessions alive without demanding touches is what's going to take the Knicks to a new level. Right now, Robinson is ranked in just the 4th percentile in usage rate, meaning only 4% of players in the entire league are used less than him in offensive possessions. His usage rate sits at 9.8%, which means less than 10% of the Knicks' offensive plays end with him taking a shot, drawing a foul, or turning the ball over. That might not sound like a big deal, but it's exactly why he's so crucial. His role isn't about scoring. It's about creating opportunities for his teammates, setting screens, rolling hard to the basket, and forcing defenses to make tough decisions. Meanwhile, Jalen Brunson is leading the team in usage rate, ranked better than 95% of players in the league at 29.7%. That means almost 1 out of every 3 Knicks possessions ends with him making a play. He's taking 18.3 shots per game, getting to the line 7.1 times, and dishing out 7.5 assists. That's a massive workload, and Robinson's presence is going to make it so much easier for Brunson to operate. Since Robinson doesn't demand touches, he's always in the right spot as a lob threat, a screener, or an offensive rebounding machine, giving Brunson the freedom to attack without hesitation. And then there's Karl Anthony Towns, who's ranked better than 90% of the league in usage at 26.8%. He's taking 16.6 shots per game, getting to the line 5.8 times, and creating plays with 3.3 assists. That's another huge volume scorer who needs plenty of possessions to operate. And this is exactly why Robinson is so important, because he doesn't get in the way. Instead of clogging up the offense, Robinson works around his teammates' strength. He's not taking shots away from Towns or Brunson. He's setting them up for better ones. And let's not forget about the other key contributors in this offense. OG has a usage rate of 18.3%, ranking better than 54% of players. He's taking 12.8 shots per game. And with Robinson in the lineup, those shots are going to be even easier. Since Robinson is an elite screener, OG is going to get more clean looks from mid-range and beyond the arc, just like Brunson and Towns. Bridges, another key scorer, is ranked better than 61% of the league in usage at 19.1%. He's taking 14.8 shots per game, and just like OG, he's going to get better looks with Robinson on the floor. Since Robinson doesn't need touches, defenses have to stay locked in on the Knicks' primary scorers. That means more space for Bridges to attack, more open lanes to the basket, and more uncontested jumpers. And then there's Josh Hart, who's more of a secondary playmaker. His usage sits at 15.4%, ranking better than 34% of players. He doesn't dominate the ball, but he plays a crucial role in keeping the offense flowing. His 5.7 assists per game prove that he's a playmaker. And Robinson's ability to set solid screens and create second chance opportunities is going to help Hart rack up even more dimes. But here's what really separates Robinson from other low usage big men: his efficiency. Since he doesn't take a ton of shots, the ones he does take are extremely high percentage. He's finishing at an elite rate, only shooting when he's got a clear lane to the basket. That means no wasted possessions, no forced shots, just smart basketball. And then there's his ability to generate free throws. He may only be taking 2 free throws per game, but those extra opportunities add up fast. Defenses can't just ignore him, which makes him even more dangerous as a lob threat and putback finish. When he crashes the offensive glass, there's a high chance he's either scoring or getting fouled. This entire offensive structure is built around balance. Brunson and Towns handle the bulk of the scoring, but the surrounding pieces need to fit seamlessly. Robinson does exactly that. His low usage game means nobody has to sacrifice their shots. OG, and the best part, even though Robinson isn't a playmaker, his presence makes life easier for everyone else. His screens give Brunson more space. His rim running forces defenders to collapse. His rebounding creates second chance points. Every little thing he does adds up to winning basketball. This is why Robinson's return is such a game changer. The Knicks already have a balanced offense, but with him back, they're going to be even more efficient. There's no awkward adjustment period, no need to shift touches around. He's going to slide right in and instantly make life easier for the team's primary scorers. And let's not forget about possessions. The Knicks already have one of the best rebounding units in the league, and Robinson's offensive rebounding is going to generate even more extra possessions. That means more shots for Brunson, more open threes for Bridges and OG, and more fast break opportunities for Hart. This offense is already dangerous, but with Robinson back, it's going to reach another level. He's the perfect low usage, high impact player that every team needs. His presence allows the stars to thrive without disruption, and his ability to generate extra possessions makes the entire team better. With Robinson anchoring the middle, the Knicks have the perfect offensive formula. High usage stars who dominate the ball, secondary scorers who can space the floor, and a low usage big man who does everything else to make the system work. Opposing defenses are going to have a major problem when the Knicks are fully healthy. They already struggle to contain Brunson's shot creation, Towns' inside-out game, and OG and Bridges' perimeter threats. Now, they have to deal with Robinson cleaning up the glass and finishing everything around the rim. The numbers prove it. Robinson doesn't need the ball to dominate, and that's exactly what makes him so valuable. His return isn't just going to improve the Knicks' defense and rebounding. It's going to take their offense to another level. Every single player is going to benefit, and the Knicks are going to be even harder to stop. But even though he's low usage, all the looks he does get, he converts at an extremely high rate. His presence alone is going to open up so many easy scoring opportunities. And the best part, he doesn't need a high usage rate to make a massive impact. The numbers prove it. Robinson's low usage, high efficiency game is exactly what makes him so valuable. And with elite playmakers like Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns feeding him the ball, his scoring efficiency is going to skyrocket. Right now, Robinson is ranked better than 41% of players in points per game, averaging 5.1. That might not jump off the page, but it's all about efficiency. He's ranked better than 71% of players in effective field goal percentage at 56.7, meaning when he takes shots, they're going in at an elite rate. His points per field goal attempt sit at 1.1, which proves he's not wasting possessions. He's only taking high percentage shots and making them count. And that's where Brunson comes in. Brunson is one of the best playmakers in the entire league, ranked better than 98% of players in ball handling ability and better than 96% in assist percentage. He's dishing out 7.5 assists per game, creating 17.6 points per game for teammates. That's massive. And with Robinson back, Brunson is going to have his best lob target again. Robinson's finishing ability makes life so much easier for Brunson, who loves to get into the paint and collapse defenses. When the defense steps up to stop Brunson's floater, Robinson is right there for the lob. Robinson's true shooting percentage sits at 54%, ranking better than 35% of the league. That's already solid, but it's only going to improve once Brunson starts feeding him high percentage looks again. Right now, Brunson is one of the safest passers in the league. His turnover percentage is just 7.73, ranking better than 78% of players. That means he's making smart reads, not forcing bad passes, and putting his teammates in the best position to score. And with Robinson's ability to finish inside, Brunson's efficiency as a playmaker is about to go through the roof. But it's not just Brunson. Josh Hart is another elite facilitator who's going to get Robinson easy buckets. Hart is ranked better than 94% of players in ball handling, and his assist percentage sits at 19.74. He's averaging 5.7 assists per game, creating 14 points per contest for teammates. His playing style is all about attacking the rim, drawing defenders, and then kicking it out or dumping it off. That's exactly the kind of playmaker Robinson thrives with. And Hart barely turns the ball over. His turnover percentage sits at 10.29, ranking better than 56% of players. That means he's making smart decisions, keeping the offense flowing, and setting up teammates for easy looks. Robinson's ability to set hard screens and roll to the basket is going to create so many open passing lanes for Hart. When Hart collapses the defense, Robinson will be there every time for an easy finish. Now, let's talk about Bridges. He may not be a traditional playmaker, but his ability to move the ball is going to help Robinson thrive. Bridges is ranked better than 81% of players in ball handling and better than 46% in assist percentage at 11.73. He's averaging 3.3 assists per game, creating 8.1 points per contest for teammates. And because Bridges is such a scoring threat himself, defenses have to respect his shot, which opens up easy passing lanes to Robinson inside. And just like Brunson and Hart, Bridges takes care of the ball. His turnover percentage is just 7.49, ranking better than 80% of players. That means when he's setting up Robinson, the passes are clean, the timing is perfect, and there's almost no wasted possession. But the biggest key here, Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns is already one of the best passing bigs in the game, ranking better than 75% of players in ball handling and better than 55% in assist percentage at 13.66. He's averaging 3.3 assists per game, creating 7.5 points per contest for teammates. And with Robinson back, that inside-out connection is going to be deadly. Towns is a stretch big, meaning defenses have to respect his ability to shoot from deep. That's going to leave Robinson wide open under the basket for easy dump-offs, alley-oops, and putbacks. And Towns, just like the rest of these playmakers, is smart with the ball. His turnover percentage is just 10.28, meaning he's not making bad decisions or forcing risky passes. With Robinson's finishing ability inside, Towns is going to rack up even more assists. This entire offense is about balance, and Robinson's return is going to make it run smoother than ever. He doesn't need the ball in his hands to be effective. He just needs the right teammates to set him up. And the Knicks have plenty of them. Brunson's elite passing is going to feed Robinson easy lobs. Hart's attacking style is going to lead to easy dump-offs. Bridges' scoring ability is going to create open looks inside. And Towns' spacing is going to keep the paint clear so Robinson can dominate the rim. And let's not forget, Robinson isn't just a passive finisher. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. So even when these guys miss, he's there to clean it up. That's why his true shooting percentage is already solid, and it's only going to get better. With so many playmakers feeding him the ball, Robinson's scoring efficiency is about to go through the roof. When he's on the floor, the Knicks' offense is going to be way more dangerous. He's not just another big man. He's a low-usage, high-efficiency scorer who makes life easier for everyone else. He's a safety valve for Brunson, a finisher for Hart, a target for Bridges, and a rim runner for Towns. He fits perfectly into this lineup, and his impact is going to be felt immediately. Opposing defenses are going to have a serious problem once Robinson is back. If they focus too much on Brunson, he's going to lob it up to Robinson. If they collapse on Hart's drives, Robinson is getting an easy layup. If they try to stop Bridges' mid-range game, Robinson is going to be wide open under the basket. And if they try to take away Towns' shot, Robinson is going to feast on second chance points. The numbers prove it. Robinson may not be a high-volume scorer, but he's one of the most efficient bigs in the game. His effective field goal percentage, true shooting percentage, and points per field goal attempt all show that he makes the most out of every opportunity. And with playmakers like Brunson, Hart, Bridges, and Towns creating easy looks for him, those numbers are only going to get better. This isn't just about Robinson. It's about how he makes the entire team better. His presence in the paint opens up the offense, gives the Knicks a dominant lob threat, and makes sure that every missed shot has a second chance at turning into points. With Robinson back, the Knicks are going to have one of the most complete offensive units in the league. High-usage stars like Brunson and Towns can dominate the scoring, while Robinson quietly racks up efficient points without needing extra touches. That's what makes him so valuable. He does the dirty work, finishes at an elite rate, and gives the team a reliable scoring option inside without disrupting the offense. Overall, though, Mitchell Robinson's return is about to change everything for the Knicks. His impact on defense, rebounding, and overall team play cannot be overstated. He's an elite rim protector, a dominant force on the boards, the best offensive rebounder in the NBA, and a perfect fit alongside the Knicks' core players. When he's on the floor, the Knicks' entire identity shifts. They become tougher, more physical, and nearly impossible to outwork. His presence alone takes this team to another level, and the numbers prove that no one in the league does what he does. Let's start with defense, because that's where Robinson shines the most. He's one of the best shot blockers and interior defenders in the game, anchoring the Knicks' entire defensive scheme. Without him, teams attack the paint more freely, forcing the rest of the roster to overcompensate. But with Robinson back, opponents will think twice before even attempting to drive. He covers so much ground, erases mistakes, and forces teams into taking tougher shots. He's not just a shot blocker, he's a deterrent. Players don't even want to challenge him at the rim because they know how difficult it is to finish over him. And his defensive impact goes beyond just contesting shots. Robinson is an elite positional defender, meaning he doesn't just rely on athleticism. He understands angles, timing, and rotations. He knows exactly when to help, when to switch, and when to stay home. That's what makes him so valuable. It's not just the highlight blocks, it's the plays that don't even happen because Robinson is in the right spot. His return is also going to make Karl Anthony Towns' life so much easier. Towns is a phenomenal offensive player, but his defense has always been a weakness. That won't be a problem anymore because Robinson is going to take all the tough defensive assignments in the paint. Towns won't have to worry about getting exposed in one-on-one matchups or being targeted in pick and roll. He'll have Robinson behind him, covering for mistakes, contesting shots, and shutting down the interior. That means Towns can focus on what he does best, dominating on offense. With Robinson holding down the defensive end, Towns will be free to play aggressively without worrying about foul trouble or getting outmatched in the post. But Robinson isn't just an elite defender. He's also the best offensive rebounder in the NBA. His numbers prove that no one is better at creating second chance opportunities. He's grabbing offensive boards at a higher rate than anyone else in the league, and that's going to be a game changer for the Knicks offense. Every time the Knicks miss a shot, there's a high chance Robinson is grabbing the rebound and giving them another opportunity to score. That kind of pressure wears teams down. Opponents can play great defense for 24 seconds, force a tough shot, and still not get the ball back because Robinson is there to clean it up. That's what makes him so valuable. He doesn't need plays drawn up for him to be effective. He just outworks everyone on the glass. And it's not just about rebounding, it's about what those rebounds lead to. When Robinson grabs an offensive board, he's either finishing at the rim, kicking it out to a shooter, or drawing a foul. That's extra points, extra possessions, and extra frustration for opposing teams. The Knicks already have one of the toughest, most physical teams in the league, and Robinson is going to make them even tougher. His rebounding isn't just elite on the offensive end, it's just as important on defense. The Knicks are already a strong defensive rebounding team, and Robinson's return is going to make them even better. Opponents won't be getting second chance points because Robinson is going to control the glass. That means fewer extra possessions for the other team and more opportunities for the Knicks to push the pace and get into their offense. And speaking of offense, Robinson's return is going to make Jalen Brunson even more dangerous. Brunson is already one of the best ball handlers and shot creators in the league, but having Robinson as a screen setter is going to take his game to another level. Robinson is an incredible screener. He's big, strong, and knows exactly how to free up ball handlers. When Brunson runs a pick and roll with Robinson, defenses have to make an impossible choice. Do they go under the screen and give Brunson space to pull up? Do they fight over it and risk Robinson rolling to the basket for an easy dunk? Do they help off their man and leave a shooter open? No matter what they do, it's a losing battle. Robinson's screens are going to create even more space for Brunson to operate, whether it's getting into the paint, pulling up for a jumper, or finding an open teammate. Brunson is going to have more options with Robinson back. And if defenders collapse on him, Robinson is right there for the lob. And that's not just true for Brunson, it's true for the entire team. Robinson's screen setting is going to help every single player on the floor. Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG are all going to get cleaner looks because Robinson is clearing defenders out of the way. His screens create separation, and that extra space makes all the difference. The best part, Robinson doesn't need touches to be effective. He's a low-usage, high-impact player who fits perfectly alongside the Knicks' primary scorers. Brunson and Towns are going to dominate the ball, But Robinson doesn't need plays run for him to make a massive impact. He's going to score off lobs, putbacks, and dump-offs. All high-percentage looks that make the offense even more efficient. His return is also going to make the Knicks a nightmare in transition. With Robinson controlling the defensive glass, the Knicks are going to get out and run more often. Josh Hart is one of the best rebounding guards in the league, and now he's going to have even more opportunities to push the ball in transition. And when he does, Robinson is going to be right there running the floor. A big man who can protect the rim, control the boards, and run in transition is rare. And Robinson does all of that at an elite level. The Knicks were already one of the most physical, hardest playing teams in the league. But Robinson's return is going to take them to another level. His defense, rebound, screen setting, and ability to play off their stars make him invaluable. He's not just a role player. He's the missing piece that's going to make everything click. Opposing teams are going to have a serious problem once Robinson is back in the lineup. If they try to attack the paint, he's there to shut it down. If they try to out-rebound the Knicks, he's grabbing every board. If they focus too much on Brunson or Towns, he's setting screens and rolling to the basket for easy dunks. And if they think they can wear the Knicks down, Robinson is going to make sure they feel his presence on every single possession. The numbers prove it. Robinson is an elite defender, the best offensive rebounder in the league, an incredible screen setter, and a perfect fit alongside this Knicks team. His impact is going to be felt in every aspect of the game. He's the kind of player that makes winning plays, the kind of player that shifts momentum, and the kind of player that opponents hate going up against. With Robinson back, the Knicks aren't just going to be better, they're going to be dominant. His presence changes everything. The defense gets stronger, the rebounding gets better, the offense gets more efficient. Every single player benefits from having him on the floor. He's the key to unlocking the Knicks' full potential, and his return is going to prove just how valuable he really is. If people thought the Knicks were tough before, just wait until Robinson is back. This team is about to become a force to be reckoned with. If you guys enjoyed this, I'll be posting every day during this season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.